gentlemen, I invite you to today's live stream, starting with the glorious view of the Navy man's navel, fully exposed in his crop top shirt with his fantastic V line and his big, muscular arms. Yeah, we're in the investigation, and I do recall that we left off with Herlock Sholmes being about to go through yet another deduction thing, and I was like, that's so exciting, let me wait and do it next week. Well, next week is now here. So, what are we to deduce? The good news is I set this up very perfectly, actually, because every time I go away for a weekend, I forget most of where we were in this game. My memory isn't what it used to be. Is it early dementia? Is it brain rot from TikTok? I don't know, but I feel like in past Ace Attorney games, I used to remember things way better, and I just have not been so skilled at that recently. So, Herlock Sholmes, he's about to give me an extremely long-winded explanation of everything that's going on here in this boat. It's probably going to be mostly incorrect, or do we think that maybe it'll be correct? Because Ryunosuke's not here to course correct, except Professor Mitochondria is. So I'm going to assume he's going to be way off, and Professor Mitochondria is going to do the course correction. That is what I think is going to take place. Let's see if I can make a smart prediction. John Brown, Jacob Welsh, Art Rod, hello. Hi. I feel like I haven't seen you here in a minute. Changeling DJ and the rest of you, thank you, boys, for popping into the chat. Let's make this happen. Hello! I'm ready to deduce your navel. Time is of the essence! Oh, right. Mr. Stroganoff, allow me to remind you of your earlier claim. You told us that Jigoku left the ship some 2 hours ago. Duh! That is what I said. Sadly, that was a rather clumsy lie. You see, there is something in this room that quite clearly contradicts it. Duh. What? Ah, yes. Of course. What? I see you've noted it too, Mikatoba. Then please, do take the lead. Oh, he's going to? What in this cabin shows the impossibility of Jigoku having disembarked the ship in the last over 2 hours ago? Let's see what the last 3 years have done to your observational skills then, Mikatoba. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's all on me from the beginning. Okay. God, I'm like the teacher's pet. Sholmes was just BSing with Ryunosuke in order to coach him. He's actually very smart. Yeah, that is kind of the reveal that we got, right? So, he was just simply dicking us around the entire game. But, like, you didn't have to do that. Alright, so what I can deduce right now is that he's probably been dicking around and BSing this man right here. Professor Mitochondria has probably been dealing with this bullshit for years, getting trained by the great detective. Well, let's see if it paid off. Mikatoba, are you a great detective now because of Sholmes' training? It's been 10 years since we last did this, Sholmes, not 3. Ha! Why, of course it has. Quite. Now, all the clues are here in this cabin for your eyes to see. But as I always say, you must not merely look, but observe. Observe and the answer becomes clear. So, impress me, Squire. I think I can manage that. Okay. What in this cabin shows the impossibility of Jigoku having disembarked 2 hours ago? That's a brilliant question. Let's see if I'm a smart detective. Glass containing ice. If he left the room 2 hours ago... Wait. Yeah. If he left the room 2 hours ago, the ice would have melted. I think that's right. Glass containing ice. Shattered it. Oh, my king. What the fuck? Perhaps you should have cleared away that glass. You know, a boy who I tried to date did exactly this. He was an Irish dancer in a past life, and he would just randomly start tippity-tapping his feet at really random moments. It was kind of cute, and this reminded me of that. How curious that the ice shouldn't have melted, despite its being abandoned 2 hours ago. Duh! It would appear that the man was here in this very cabin until moments before our arrival. With this well-chilled glass in hand. Get your mind off the refreshments, Sholmes. One might even conclude that somebody had informed him of our boarding. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Stroganoff? But why would Shishiro run from us? 'Cause he's the bad guy. It's an actual dance. Haha, Kuran says hello. Before we consider that question, allow me to confirm one small matter. Would I be correct in saying that these first-class cabins of the SS Grouse are the same ones in which you and Mr. Jigoku were accommodated on your voyage from Japan? Oh, that's right, they are. I was in the cabin next door, and Shishiro was, yes, 50 days in this very cabin during our voyage. As I suspected, for you see, there are traces in this cabin of a dark secrets that Mr. Jigoku had to hide. What traces? I know nothing about nothing. Ah, this is news to you, is it, Mr. Stroganoff? Sholmes, what exactly are you getting at? As I said, there are traces in this cabin of some nefarious activity. Something that appears out of place, which I'm quite sure won't have escaped your notice. Something out of place in here? That's the key to this, Mikotoba. Right, Mikotoba, that was my line. The remnants of the dark deed that took place here are being masked by something quite important. Or something quite what? What was that line? No, incongruous. I've been getting served a lot of TikToks about how illiterate the American population is. To my credit, I have bad eyes. So I'm trying to read really, really fast and see the game. I think I am more literate than the average American, because the average American's literacy skills are real fucking low. This game is enhancing my literacy, my literary skills. Do I still come across words that I don't recognize or know, and am I learning new words? Yes. But the key to having literacy is being able to look at the broader context of the text and make inferences of words that are unfamiliar to you. Now, I do like to Google them because I do like to double check, but like this is also like how students are quizzed, or at least one example of like a test question that every student always takes on like the SATs or other, you know, English literature exams. You'll be giving passages where the writers or the teachers, they are designed to give you words that you are very unlikely to have encountered before, and then the question will be like, based on the context of this passage, this word that was used most likely means what? And then it's like A, B, C, or D, and hopefully you can figure it out. Anyways, I don't know, literacy literacy seems to be a big problem in our country, and I hope that me reading visual novel video games helps me to keep my literary skills sharp, or at least sharper than they would be otherwise. I don't know. I also read a lot of science papers. I try to read fast. I try to comprehend what I read. All right. The remnants of the dark deed that took place here are being masked by something quite incongruous. I must say, I didn't forever foresee you What was I just saying? I must say, I didn't foresee ever doing this dance of deduction with you again, Mikotoba. No, quite. But life is full of unexpected twists and turns, as we well know. Yeah, right. Now then, let's see if I can't uncover the truth here. Yes, you have the floor, my dear fellow. God, they're so gay for each other. It's so cute. All right, remnants of a dark deed that took place here being masked by something quite incongruous. Well, here's my hypothesis. It's very, very obvious that this picture belongs here. Based on the evidence that it looks like there's fucking dust, and I'm an expert in this because I never dust. This is probably what it looks like if I were to ever move that couch behind me. So, given that this thing was moved from here over here, I hypothesize that there is probably something suspicious hidden behind this, the rules of passage. I think. Maybe. Let's see.
Take that!
Rules of passage. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're dancing. That's good.
It's the rules of passage in this frame here. They're obviously out of place. The way they're hanging crooked on the wall as if they were put there in a hurry.
Yes, as I'm sure you've already concluded. That frame was originally over here. The shape and size are a perfect match. I did notice that. Duh, you are right. When did frame move? Hardly the most observant crewman, are you, Mr. Stroganoff? Nice navel. I would think your captain is quite justified in having his reservations about your reliability.
Duh! Grr. Oh dear. Well, that did seem to touch a nerve. So,
Mikatoba, why don't you lift that frame off of the wall? Yeah. Oh, Sukisu. That's suspicious.
That looks like a bullet hole.
What? Who has been shooting walls? Girl, how did you not hear a fucking bullet go off? Oh, I see. The projectile has been removed. Clearly, the careful occupant of this room has already disposed of it. Now then, Mr. Stroganoff. I have the distinct impression that you're attempting to shield the said occupant. I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I try to protect Eastern stranger? Huh, so we're talking about the same man, I see. Good! I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this in no time, aren't you? Wow, look at the size difference between these men. He could just bend him in half. Because there's some very noteworthy evidence that explains the reason why you're lying for the man. It's on his arm. Yes, you've been told to keep this pretense as clearly shown by.
I really don't know how to approach this one, Sholmes.
Oh, my dear Mikatoba. Simply keep first principles in mind. Study your subject from every angle, and I'm quite sure that you'll see it. In fact, I'd put a wager on it.
So I'm to glare this fellow from all sides. Well, I can certainly do that.
Okay, well, I was gonna say his arm, but what, am I supposed to go look at his ass? Oh, well, can I move? Ooh. Oh, what's in here? Oh, it's a wad of banknotes. I mean, this is suspicious. Is it a tattoo? We're calling this a tattoo? Did he not just try? Wow, In the interest of all of the homosexual men on my live stream, we're just gonna get a nice round view of the man who works so hard on his body, on his muscles, on his glutes, on his everything. You're a gem, darling. Your package leaves a little bit to be... All right, you know what? Let's not be that kind of guy. All right, you got money. You were paid off. Let's move on.
It's almost too obvious for words.
Quite! The universal language of the world. Money. Money makes the world go round. Guys, you need to get money out of politics. Duh.
And I'd wager that the Eastern fellow in question is Shiro Jigoku. Yes.
Gah.
So, I presume you realize what this means. There are clear signs that a crime has been committed in this cabin. And the way you're going, sir, you'll find yourself accused of being an accomplice.
I believe you know, Mr. Stroganoff. You know where Mr. Jigoku is hiding at this precise moment in time. Oh, is he looking at the box? Is he looking at the box? It looks like he was looking at the box. I think he's in the box. As always, Mikatoba, in matters of deduction, the furtive glance is your unfaltering ally.
Yes, I think you're onto something there, Mr. Sholmes. You found the chink in this burly fellow's armor.
We need only follow the man's gaze to know where our prey is hiding. I saw the slightest flicker of the pupils, a minutely delayed blink. Nothing escapes my attention. Even then, which is barely perceptible.
Well, you could hardly call this barely perceptible, Sholmes. The man turned his entire fucking head.
Yeah, to be fair, it was pretty obvious.
It's not exactly what you would describe as a furtive glance, is it? It's almost too obvious.
Wait, is he faking us out, do you think? We shall let your tapping toes decide, my dear fellow. Well, I don't care. I'm doing the box. Susato-san, I can't believe you never told me that your father was a tap dancing maniac.
You turned immediately to look at this large trunk, didn't you?
No!
The truth is, Shishiro Chigoku was unable to escape from the ship in time, and is at this very moment doing his best to stifle his breath inside of this trunk.
If he still has a breath to take, I fear he may be running dangerously low on air. I imagine he didn't count on us making a nuisance of ourselves for quite so long. I think it would be in everyone's best interests for us to open the trunk as quickly as possible.
But how can we? Are you forgetting about the combination lock? We don't know the 7-digit code.
The combination lock can't be opened from inside the trunk. Therefore, there must have been an arrangement for somebody to open it after the departure.
Of course!
In short, before Jigoku hid himself inside of that trunk, he must have told somebody the 7-digit number for the lock. As I'm sure you can confirm, Mr. Stroganoff.
No, I know nothing about combination code.
Ah! Don't move a muscle, my good seaman. I do love good seaman. What, seaman? It's 5231045. Okay, hats off to you, game developers. You really pulled one there with the sloppy handwriting that looks vaguely like letters that spell out Sholmes, but also looks vaguely like numbers. It's like when you type boobs in a calculator.
Huh?
Now, Mikatoba, would you do the honneurs and open the trunk?
Well, how on earth do you expect me to?
It's a 7-digit number, remember? Quickly now, we have little time. All right, what? 523, okay. 523, 1045. 523, 1045. I got it. 523, 10, okay. What? Oh, Jesus. 523, then it was 10, and then I think it was 45. 45. Yes. Present. Did I do it? Guys, I am beasting this, I think. To be fair, these are actually, all of these segments are way easier than the trials.
That did it! It's open!
You had to meddle, didn't you? Oh, you look like such a supervillain. Oh my god.
Well, Eugen, you found me now. Shishiro!
I think I gave both of them the same voice. I have pretty limited talents.
I was really hoping beyond, hope to not find you here, you know?
But you're not entirely unsurprised, I take it.
No, quite. I just wish it were some other way.
Well, are you ever going to introduce me?
Ah, your reputation precedes you, Mr. Sholmes. I've read stories of many of your exploits.
Excuse my manners, Sholmes. Oh, wait, what?
Excuse my manners, Sholmes. This is Mr. Jigoku, my old friend and traveling companion.
Right. The devil is in the details, Mikatoba. I believe you meant to say your old friend and traveling companion. Right. Yeah. Ein Moment bitte gern. I think I have to do a quick little reset because we are having a couple of problems. That's the way my life goes in these situations. I think I'm back. As I was saying, I believe you meant to say your old friend and traveling companion. Who made the cowardly decision to flee the country without a word to anyone when things turned sour? I see my reputation precedes me well. What an honor.
Well, Shishiro, are you going to explain all of this?
You know it all by now, I imagine. What you didn't know, of course, is that 3 days ago, on the night before our arrival in Britain, an attempt was made on my life here on this very ship.
By the Reaper of the Bailey, you mean? Yes, I've since heard. Because you were once prosecuted by the Reaper, weren't you? 10 years ago now, mind you.
And I had no idea at the time what a dangerous individual he was. Anyway, when we arrived in London to find the symposium was postponed until goodness knows when, it became all too apparent to me that I might very well be targeted again.
So you decided to flee the capital, without saying a word to me about it?
I'm afraid so, yes. Of course. I realize now that I really ought to have confided in you.
It's, somewhat surprising, I must say.
Oh, it's somewhat surprising, I must say.
What is?
Well, first-class cabins aboard luxury steamships are in very short supply. It's more than a little hard to believe that this one just happens to be available.
So says the protagonist of some colorful short stories. Well, I don't care for your opinion.
Oh, feisty.
The cabin did just so happen to be available, so I purchased a ticket, and here I am.
I've just seen for myself the obvious remnants of that incident in this cabin. So you'd already purchased your return ticket before we even docked in Dover, had you? To prevent anyone else taking this cabin and seeing the evidence. Is that what happened?
Eugen, I have nothing to say to you.
Well, in a mere 5 minutes, the ship will set off on its onward voyage, and not to make port again until Italy. I'm afraid we must insist that you disembark with us at once.
You have no jurisdiction over my movements.
We have this, Shishiro. Take it.
What is that?
It's a subpoena from the Old Bailey. You're a man of the law. You know what the ramifications of ignoring a document like this from the British courts would be.
You came prepared then, Eugen.
Oh my god, his eyes are suddenly really intense.
Come on, let's go.
One moment, if you may.
What is it, Sholmes?
Inside Mr. Jigoku's trunk, I found this rather fascinating trinket. What is that?
What is that, Shishiro?
Does that connect to something that I have? Oh no, we're dropping frames again. Shit. Why? Fix yourself, please, I beg of thee.
I can't help you, I'm afraid. Some small component from something. But what? I haven't a clue.
Do I have a clue? Can I look at my evidence? Maybe it lines up with something that I have.
By the look on his face, I think he genuinely doesn't know what this is.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, let us pocket it as a small souvenir of our brief sojourn in France. Small component entered into the court record. A small machine part that Mr. Sholmes found in Judge Jigoku's cabin. Okay.
Well, young Naruhodo, I think we've done as much as we can, I'm afraid. The rest will be on the shoulders of you and your assistant.
What did you guys do for me? Well, I hope that fucking machine part comes in handy. It's now November 3rd at 12:10 p.m. at the Old Bailey courtroom. Okay, I guess we're going back to court. That's fine. Let's, see what happens. So, Susato-san, did you glean anything from that? Kazuma Asogi. I know you. I know you wouldn't lie. But still, there's no doubt that you're holding something back. He knows more than what he's saying. But he's also my boyfriend, and I love him, and I know that he's not the Judge Jigoku is the supervillain. Judge Jigoku's the supervillain. Kazuma is something. He fits into this puzzle, and I'm going to clear his name. Ugh, Jesus.
During the past 30 minutes, while the court was adjourned, all possible efforts were expended. But sadly, Mr. Jigoku's whereabouts could not be ascertained. Objection! We must accept the unfortunate conclusion that the Reaper has already done the deed. Mr. Naruhodo, don't you have your little rabbit ears? Did they not communicate that they found him? Oh. There's no sense in wasting any more of the court's time. The prosecution calls for an immediate verdict. Hands raised. No! The trial cannot end now. You're a Japanese man, Ryunosuke. You should know when to lay down your sword. I'd sooner stick it into my abdomen. And you should know to never presume when the battle is won. Ooh. The court has already been presented with all the evidence and heard all relevant testimony. And there can be only one conclusion, that the accused is guilty. All relevant testimony? That's where you're wrong, Kazuma. Far from it, actually. There's still a crucial witness, from whom the court has yet to hear a single word of testimony. In that case, call your witness to the stand at once, counsel. Did he respond to the subpoena? Do I have Judge Jigoku to call to the witness stand? Okay. Yes, my lord. Tomorrow. If possible, can we push this back a day? My witness is currently being subpoenaed. The witness is already on his way and scheduled to arrive tomorrow. Who on earth is this crucial witness? Oh, you're gonna love this part. Seishiro Jigoku, the very man allegedly murdered by the Reaper. Judge Jigoku? You found him? Damn straight I did. I mean, well, my great detective best friend. Okay. Details don't matter, I guess. But the investigations of every policing resource in the capital suggest Jigoku is already dead. How in the name of God did you find the man? Oh, so he was actually in France during the recess. At the port of Dunkirk, actually, of all places, go figure. Thanks to one of Mr. Hairlock Sholmes' famous deductions, we found it all out. Hairlock Sholmes? Inspector Gregson almost certainly met with Mr. Jigoku on the night of his death. Because along with Prosecutor Asogi, Gregson was on a mission to assassinate the man. Yeah. Fiction of Grandeur, is that the last judge? Well, this is the last trial, so I'm assuming it's the last judge. It's finale time, boys. Well, I'm probably not gonna finish this trial. I don't know how many... Somebody who's played this game, this would be a good time for you to tell me, how many live streams do you think this final trial is going to take? Like, are we finishing it this week, maybe? Which means that Seishiro Jigoku is the sole witness, who can clarify exactly what happened aboard the SS Grouse on October 31st. Well, it would appear that it's too soon to move to adjudication at this point. Oh, it's a boss. The prosecution concurs. The court must hear Mr. Jigoku's testimony. Oh, thank God he agrees. No judgment should be passed until his testimony has been considered. In that case, I hereby call the end of today's proceedings. Court will reconvene at the same hour tomorrow. No objections from either side.
No, my lord. No objections, my lord. We live to fight another day. By the skin of our teeth, no less. But I mean, I feel right at home. Okay, it's fine. It's fine, we're good, we're okay. Is this the end of it? To be continued. Alright, and I think we just rope right into the next part, do we not? To be continued. I didn't realize how close to a to be continued I was. Save your current progress? Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I? Alright, so that's saved. Investigation part 1. Oh no, there's another day of investigating. Okay, I mean, that's fine. The unexpected halt of proceedings sent a clamor around the courtroom. But outside the Bailey, where Londoners knew nothing of the secret trial within, it was still just a typical night. Then, at a little past 8 o'clock that evening, Mr. Sholmes and his partner returned to Baker Street. November 3rd, 8:07 p.m. at Sholmes's suite. We have returned, my dear fellows! Welcome back to Britain. And thanks for your help. Honestly, getting us a delay in the trial might be exactly what we need. Ah, think nothing of it. I believe you've had an even more wearing day than Mikotoba and I know. Yeah, you could say something like that. I'm having so many questions about my boyfriend, but I'm trying really hard to have faith in him because I want to be a good boyfriend, you know? We were on the brink of defeat in court earlier. To my boyfriend, who might be a supervillain, but I don't believe that because he's my boyfriend and he's a good guy. Did I mention he was my boyfriend? So, this Prosecutor Asogi, is he your boyfriend? Ah, nothing gets by you, great detective. He had you on the ropes, did he? And he's your boyfriend? Yeah, actually, the very one. Boyfriend and everything. Well, he's not really the man that I knew in Japan anymore, though. I'm having so many complicated feelings about my relationship to him. Kazuma's changed. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo! I mean, it's incredible. To think that he'd even entertained the idea of acting as the Reaper's assassin. Well, nevertheless, you must introduce me to this fine fellow. After all, I've only ever met the young man as a corpse. I would much rather meet him as a lively homosexual. When all of this started, almost a year ago now, Mr. Sholmes still hasn't told us the truth about what really happened all the way back then on that ship. About the motivation for what he himself described as a great detective's lie. Everybody's lying to me, all the time. I'm getting real sick of it. Now then, I must say, it's really quite a journey all the way to France. Well, it is in another country, Mr. Sholmes. So, what news of Judge Jigoku?
We took him to Scotland Yard. The investigating detectives there have a lot of questions for the man.
Poor Professor Mitochondria. This must be quite a shock for him. Ah, yes. I picked this up at the telegraph office on our way home. What's that? Surely you haven't forgotten already? I put upon you for the matter only yesterday. He did.
You put upon me, Sholmes. I had to fill out your telegram to Japan and foot the bill as well.
Oh! You have a reply already?
Well, what was so urgent, though, Mr. Sholmes? Such matters can wait until later. I'm far too hungry for an involved conversation at present. Fact.
Well, that's good news! Because supper is ready, everyone!
Ah, and what a feast it is! If I were none the wiser, I'd think the trial were won already. Yeah, she cooked a whole fucking turkey? My gosh. Roast beef, kippers, stew, steak, and kidney pie. Yorkshire pudding.
Tomorrow could be a very long day, so eat up, everyone! Get all fat and sassy!
In that case, I'll seat myself just here. This place appears to be the only other set with a helping of a pheasant as well. Oh, it's a pheasant.
Oh, sorry, Hurley. You can't sit there.
Why ever not? Are we in Set's places this evening?
We are! And that place is for Susie's daddy!
For me?
That's right! I made it especially for you, Professor Mickey!
I see. Well, that's terribly kind of you.
It's, a shame, really.
What do you mean? Does she know that he's the man that was the man that we thought was the other man, but it's actually this man? Do you know what I'm saying? Does she know what she's saying? Has she caught on?
Well, for a brief moment I believed it. That Susie and I were half-sisters, I mean.
Oh, she does know. Okay.
Oh!
Huh! Sir, you've got some explaining to do. Where have you been dumping your seed? Oh, well, I see.
Iris, do you mean? Yeah, I know now. I overheard you guys yesterday. You guys all talk really fucking loud in here. So, I couldn't help but listen to the conversation you had after I tricked you all into thinking that I'd left.
What? What? Drama. The misunderstanding arose because of that autopsy report from 10 years ago. But actually, it turned out that neither Dr. Wilson nor Professor Mikotoba are Iris's father. Oh! Wait, what? How many potential fathers are there for this? Girl, who's your mother again and who's she been sleeping with? So it's not Dr. Wilson or Professor Mikotoba. Tito TJ, hello. We need to bring this girl on Marley? What's that show where they found out who the dad was? Maury. We need to bring her to Maury. I think that's what it was called. Yes, about that, Iris. You know, I
know. You can't tell me at the moment. Oh, Iris. The pheasant is by way of an apology. I'm really sorry that I eavesdropped on you guys.
Oh, no, that's quite all right. We do talk quite loud.
Then why don't I get any apologetic pheasant? Caught up watching your playthrough of Dual Destinies. So good. Oh my god, the final case of Dual Destinies? The Phantom. That's all that matters. So who is Iris's father? I suppose that's not something we'll be finding out today. Well, they're making a really big deal about it. Here's my newest hypothesis. They've made too big of a deal of it to be a rando, I think. So, not gonna lie, the next person in line of my predicted guesses would be this fucker. Like, Mr. Sholmes, who were you laying pipe in when you were 24 years old? 10 years ago, did you knock up somebody? And, is Iris your kid? Do they have the same eye color, by the way? Well, hers are much brighter, but, like, are they green? Well, I can't really see his face very well. But we've ruled you out. I think you're the supervillain, so hopefully you're not the dad, but, like, he also was in this... So both of these men were in this area 10 years ago. Actually, that means that Seishiro Jigoku's in the running to be the father, too. Yes? Because he and he were both here 10 years ago. Dr. Wilson's been ruled out. Mitochondria's been ruled out. You could be the father. It would probably be more pleasant if you were the father. Or maybe you turned out to be an okay guy. I don't know. Gina, you are not the father. I don't think you're the father. I hope to God you're not the father. So yeah, our list of suspects grows weaker. So I think we're getting closer to an answer here. So then, let us dine, while our largely pheasantless plates are still piping hot.
A fine idea, Sholmes. It all looks absolutely delicious.
Eat as much as you like. There's always seconds.
This could be our last chance to ask questions before tomorrow's trial. About that telegram from Japan, and about Kazuma. I can't let this opportunity slip away. Dave Abler, hello. Oh my god, Sholmes, you look so comfy. You know, when you see like that, I can see right up your ass cheeks. Here, can I have a conversation with you? Is everybody else sitting here too? Oh no. Is it just me and you while you sit in this sultry position on the sofa? Okay. Mr. Sholmes. Respectfully. What are you doing, my guy? Oh no! Surely it's abundantly clear that I wasn't brooding over Mikotoba's refusal to share his pheasant with me. Nevertheless, I felt the need to withdraw from the social circle for a while and look on with hungry eyes. Oh, you poor unfortunate soul.
Sorry, Hurley, but I cooked that pheasant especially for Susie's daddy.
Even though I've played the role of father for you for far longer. Mr. Sholmes, could I discuss a couple of things with you? If you don't mind. Certainly, my dear fellow. I find myself quite in the mood for a spell of conversation. No doubt you're hungry to learn more of my deep love for our game. I can probably contain my curiosity on that one. You needn't look at me in that fashion. What fashion? It seems that before we discuss the pheasant, we have some rather unpheasant matters to discuss. Wow, a real fucking jokester. Alright, let's get down to it. Let's converse, you and I. The telegram from Japan. I really need to know more about it, if you don't mind. So, what was in the telegram you received back from Japan, then? Ah, this! I thank my lucky stars it arrived in time. Record found as indicated. Duplicate follows. K. Asogi. A. Shin. T. Gregson. J. Wilson. Okay, Kazuma Asogi, Asash Shin, who was an assassin, Tobias Gregson, and then Dr. Wilson, who was assassinated. I'm so confused. Those 4 names. Wait! We've come across that list before! Way back at the end of the first game. They came up in that unforgettable case last spring. Wow, we're going way back. What appeared to be a simple case of aggravated murder turned out to be masking some monumental intrigue. A plot that involves the sale of British governmental secrets to foreign states. In exposing the means by which those secrets were being leaked, we deciphered a fragment of a message. K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, and J. Wilson. Yeah. Oh, I might have to do another reset. Oh, awkward timing. My new dilemma is this. I don't know if running OBS is what's causing the problems, so now my internet connection seems stable for a while until OBS has been running for like too long, and then everything like crashes. Well, this is awkward. No, I think we're back. Alright, these 4 names, you've heard them. But we didn't find these names out until the case was over. And we never did get to the bottom of what those names meant. All we knew was that the information had been sent by somebody in the British government to somebody in Japan. So, why are the names coming up again now? I don't know, but here's the other thing. Asa Shin, we keep saying, was an assassin. However, 4 names. 3 of the names listed are deceased. Tobias Gregson, dead. Asa Shin, dead. Dr. Wilson, dead. Kazuma is the last man standing. And Kazuma, we thought, was dead. Because he was, like, murdered on the boat or whatever. Who was his killer again in that case, by the way? Oh, God. Well, it was a fake killing. It wasn't the princess girl, right? She was just the suspect. Oh god, oh, I really have to pull my memory back together. But so he had a whole faked murder, which means technically that is 4 out of 4 people who were killed on that list. It's a hit list. They're not the assassins. They're the targets. Oh no. My boyfriend is in danger. I think my boyfriend's in very, very real danger. Why are the names coming up again now?
Yes! Where did the sender of your telegram discover them, Mr. Sholmes?
Well, I have here the message I had wired yesterday. Allow me to read it to you. Enter Judge Jigoku's office undetected and investigate telegram records. Expect to find communication from Britain, dated 1 year ago. List of 4 names, need by tomorrow. Naruhodo.
I sent it to a detective I know who specializes in clandestine missions of this nature.
You asked Inspector Hasanaga to undertake such an onerous task for you.
And in my name? I wonder what guise he opted for this time. He does love to dress up, doesn't he? My dear fellows, it was a matter of great urgency. You understand? Do I?
Anyway, the list of names was found in Shishiro's office as Sholmes had predicted.
So you mean that mysterious collection of names that was sent to Britain to Japan was...
It was sent to Judge Jigoku! He was the intended recipient.
He's the killer! It's a hit list and he's the assassin! I don't believe it.
But that doesn't answer the question of what the list of names actually signifies.
Well, I have a hypothesis. I did formulate a hypothesis about that. Are we both great detectives, Sholmes? Have I put it together? But without a shred of evidence, I couldn't possibly have shared it. Mr. Sholmes. He looks deadly serious for once. Telegram from Japan has been entered into the court record. Okay. So let's actually talk about Kazuma's death. So, the great detective... This was his lie, by the way. Kazuma's death, it was at least partially orchestrated and facilitated by this man. Did you save my boyfriend by faking his death to protect him from the hit list and Judge Jigoku? That's what I'm deducing here. And you've trained me to be a deducer. This is my massive deduce. Kazuma's death? Let's talk about it. The tragedy that we had to go through on the SS Buria. It was all for nothing. Kazuma wasn't dead at all. We were completely taken in by the lie that you told us. Your great detective's lie. I took no pleasure into saving you. However, that's the time. All that concerned me was preventing the young man's study tour from taking place, whatever the cost. What? I capitalized on the events that transpired to see that he was sent back to Japan.
His remains, you mean?
Right. Precisely, Miss Susato. Send his remains back to Japan so that Judge Jigoku thinks that Kazuma is dead. That's what you did. Oh my Christ, I'm having so many revelations. And then, I made sure that somebody else was sent to Britain in his stead.
Oh my gosh! You mean...
The arrangement between our two countries was already in place. One university student's lawyer and one judicial assistant to be accommodated on a study tour. In other words, by arranging for someone else to fill the place originally intended for Mr. Asogi, I would successfully prevent the man from arriving on shores for several years at least. Wait, do you mean to say that all of this was in aid of stopping Kazuma coming to Britain? That's why you... Think back, Mr. Naruhodo. Was there not somebody who quite casually urged you to continue on the voyage to England? The terms of this study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. In the light of Mr. Asogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead.
Oh dear.
My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is one lawyer, and the study tour can continue surely.
But there's no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Sholmes. We know of no other lawyer.
The voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves another suitable lawyer. So, you manipulated me? I've often remarked on the extraordinary lengths to which friendship will drive a man. I was quite sure that you would rise to the challenge for your late friend.
I don't believe you. But if it was all contrived... I mean, what happened was treated by the authorities as a murder. A woman was mistakenly arrested as the perpetrator. What do you suppose became of that woman?
Ha! Naturally. I didn't allow the misapprehension to have any serious repercussions. I subsequently explained everything, and assisted the unfortunate soul in finding the foreign refuge she sought. I seem to remember Miss Susato and I had some rather strong words for her. Well, she was certainly not devoid of all guilt. She deserved every word of it, I'm sure. I wonder if she made it to America then. Jesus fuck.
I'm afraid I simply can't comprehend it. Why would you go to such lengths, Mr. Sholmes? Why were you so determined to stop Kazuma-sama from reaching Britain?
The truth is, 12 months ago, there was already a very tangible omen of the impending tragedy, you see.
Oh!
An omen that, at this very moment in time, is close at hand. An omen of all these tragic events that already existed a year ago is close at hand? Stop talking in riddles, man! Spit it out! Wait, what? What? An omen of all these tragic events that already existed a year ago is close at hand. We need to find out exactly what he knows. I need to present something to him. Something from a year ago? Is it this? Is it this? The night before the ship arrived in Dover. No. Is it the Great Sword? Is it Is it Clint? Is it Passport? Is it this? Is it... There's so many things I feel like it could be. Gregson's photograph. All of this is really old shit. 1 year ago. 1 year ago. I don't know, I guess I could try to present anything at him, can't I? Or wait, can I present... No, can I present anything to this guy? No, I don't have the ability to do presenting. Oh, yes I do. Just gotta switch gears around. Alright, let's start presenting things and see what sticks. Would you look at this? Oh, sorry, of course. Okay, he only cares about the pheasant. Is it the Asogi papers? No, that's not it either. Okay. Maybe it's the, maybe it's this small component. This is the thing we got. He doesn't seem to care about it. Okay, that's fine. Don't worry, I got all fucking day for this. Can I show you the telegram? There was no room for doubt with your instructions in this telegram, Mr. Sholmes. You were very clear that it was Judge Jigoku's office that should be searched, so... That means you obviously knew that's where the list of names was going to be found.
K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson.
But we only learnt of those 4 names just over 6 months ago now. And only because they appeared as part of the top secret government communications that were leaked. That's true, yes. But at the time, you were unaware of the background. You see, those 4 names were wired to Japan. Around 6 months before that, approximately this time last year in fact, when you were both still in Japan. It really would be hypocrisy on my part to reprove others for intercepting state secrets. Because after all, I'm perpetually eavesdropping on communications between the British and Japanese governments.
You're perpetually doing what? How?
Never mind the details, but you should know. No secret is safe from Herlock Sholmes when he has designs on knowing it. Oh.
Oh my gosh, Mr. Sholmes, what a fabulous line!
Now, 1 month after that list of 4 names was wired to the recipient, Jigoku in Japan, Dr. John H. Wilson was murdered. Here we go. Yep, it's coming. As soon as I learned of the incident, a hypothesis rapidly took shape in my mind. As it turned out, I was partly correct. And I was partly mistaken. What? Nevertheless, it was the beginning of all the tragic events that were to follow.
Mr. Sholmes, please, tell us everything that you know. Tell us about these 4 names and the tragedy to which they're all somehow connected.
Johnny Petriello, hello, I'm doing well. The 4 names. Alright. As I said, when I learned of Dr. Wilson's murder in Japan, my mind immediately turns to those 4 names because you see, there was someone else on the list who I believed to be recently deceased. Who? A. Shin, as it was transcribed in Japanese script. In actual fact, Miss Asa Shin. That was a familiar name to me. She was a professional killer, well known among London's unsavory classes. I see, okay. But she had completely vanished from existence several months before Wilson's murder. So I came to the logical conclusion that she had herself been killed. And accordingly, I became fearful for the lives of the remaining 2 persons on the list. Wait, what? Hey, let me... God, man, maybe I should have played these games back to back, but the first one was such a slog. Asa Shin, no spoilers. To my knowledge, as I remember it, she was the fancy British bitch who we found was the killer of Dr. Wilson in the very, very beginning of this game. And then ultimately she got killed, she got doinked at the beginning of this game. So she was a murderer turned murder victim. But Asa Shin, professional killer, she had completely vanished from existence several months before Wilson's murder, came to the conclusion that she herself had been killed. So he wrongfully came to that conclusion because what had happened was she disappeared. She disappeared from London because she was here. She ended up in Japan. The original first case from the first game was in Japan. Naruhodo was the accused. She committed the crime, which occurred in Japan. And she changed her name to Giselle Brett. Yes. Yes. Okay, I'm getting caught up here. It's all coming together. So, she killed Wilson, but then she herself was killed. Why?
K. Asogi and T. Gregson.
Owing to our proximity, I decided to take measures to protect Gregson myself. But I determined it would be safest if young Asogi were to stay away from Britain. So that's why you went to such lengths to prevent his study tour from going ahead. Because he came to the conclusion he thought both of those people had been doinked. Because Dr. Wilson had been doinked, and he thought Asa Shin had already been doinked. He prematurely thought that. She hadn't yet been doinked, but she did get doinked later on. So 2 people he thinks are doinked, he's like, I gotta step in and I gotta protect the other 2 people on what I am interpreting as a hit list of people who are being taken out. I follow. Exactly.
So, you already knew who Kazuma-sama was, Mr. Sholmes?
Oh yes, Sholmes and I have exchanged correspondence for years. I'd recounted many tales about Asogi to him in my letters and the news of Dr. Wilson's death, of course.
So, Dr. Wilson is dead then? I didn't know that.
Oh, Iris.
I mean, I know that he wasn't my daddy, but still, that's very sad. I'm so sorry, Iris. We knew the significance of the name, obviously, but we just couldn't bring ourselves to tell you. No.
But what you just told us, Mr. Sholmes, that doesn't completely tie in with the facts. There's a really big hole in your hypothesis.
A big hole, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yeah, I'm kind of an expert on them.
Ah yes, you mean about Asa Shin, I presume.
Oh, of course.
Exactly. She wasn't killed, was she? She was in Japan posing as a visiting student under the assumed name of Giselle Brett. I'm glad you're keeping up, my dear fellow. But I only became aware of that fact 2 days ago, in the foyer of the Great Waterloo Hotel.
Oh.
And upon hearing that startling revelation, the hypothesis that I'd formed surrounding those 4 names was completely turned topsy. Topsy? What? Topsy hypothesis. Yeah, it's getting a little bit messy, I admit. What do you mean when you say your hypothesis was turned to topsy, Mr. Sholmes? I had believed all 4 names on the list to be the names of victims. However, I was mistaken.
Very much so, Asa Shin was a killer. So this telegram is a list of both victims and killers, is it?
But that doesn't make sense. Indeed, it would seem that Miss Shin was dispatched from Britain with the sole intention of dispatching Dr. Wilson. But if that's the case, that would mean that... What, that Jay Wilson... So, if Asa Shin was to dispatch Jay Wilson, by simple pattern recognition, that leads to the conclusion that Kei Asogi would be sent to dispatch Tobias Gregson, which is exactly what he's being accused, which is exactly where our investigation is. This is the misdirect. You're trying to make me think that my boyfriend was the assassin to kill Tobias Gregson, but no! Wrong! Record found as indicated. Inspector Hasanaga. Okay. Let me sit with this for a minute. Her visiting student status being merely a front? Right.
Which would of course explain why no motive could be determined for her actions.
So the real reason Dr. Wilson was killed by Asa Shin is because he was the target of an assassination. And forearmed with that knowledge, fresh consideration of this telegram puts the list in a very different perspective. What do you mean? Well, does it not strike you there is another among the 4 who subsequently became a visiting student? You mean... But of course, a name I'm afraid you know too well. You're implicating Kazuma? You're thinking that he is the Giselle Brett of this one? You think that he is the alter ego to Giselle Brett, came to Britain to assume an alternate identity to assassinate Tobias Gregson? Why? No! I mean, he did say in court earlier today. Yes, on October 31st, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission. And the mission was the assassination of the Mark. Young Mr. Asogi accepted that mission a year ago now.
Surely he didn't. There's gotta be some type of mistake.
In conclusion, this document is a contract of sorts. An international agreement, one might say, detailing an assassin exchange. An assassin exchange? No way Kazuma would have gotten involved in something like that. Assassin exchange. Well, let's assume that we have two parties, each wishing to dispose of a distinct individual. Those two parties then make a contract to swap their respective assassination targets. That would then be an assassin exchange.
So to begin with, the British assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Japan, where she kills her target. And then, the Japanese assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Britain in order to eliminate his target. It certainly does sound like an exchange. But that doesn't... No! What on earth is the point of doing that?
Well, don't forget, Mr. Naruhodo, that the British assassin at least escaped conviction. Thanks to diplomatic immunity afforded by consular jurisdiction.
Shit, that's right. Oh yeah.
Such jurisdiction should be null and void under the terms of the new treaty between our two countries. So the fact that it was brought into play suggests intervention at the very highest level.
The highest of levels? These murders were two sides of the same coin, linked not by a common motive, but by contractual agreement. As such, they appeared utterly unrelated, yet in truth, the assassins were complicit in one singular devilish scheme. That dissociation and the safeguard of diplomatic immunity were, I believe, the motivation behind this plot.
But wait a minute, Shirtless. If this telegram really is describing the exchange of assassins as you're suggesting, it would mean that the Japanese killer's target was never Shishiro Jigoku at all. It would mean Asogi's target was actually Inspector Gregson.
Right. You're saying that he was there for Gregson? And Judge Jigoku wasn't the mark, but Judge Jigoku is like super fucking suspicious. Like super fucking sus.
That's exactly what it would mean.
I hold myself personally responsible for failing to keep the inspector safe.
Mr. Sholmes.
I told him of my fears and implored him to seek a transfer to an overseas position. Obviously, with the young pickpocket in tow. Right, Gina Lestrade. Come to think of it, Inspector Gregson did mention that to us at the Great Exhibition, that he'd been transferring to the Paris police and taking Gina with him. But without informing me, he engaged in one last assignment, it seems. And sadly, it turned out to be his very last. This is all too much to take in. I don't... But it can't be true.
Alright, everyone, that's quite enough of all of this serious talk for one day. Isn't it, Hurley? I mean, look at the time!
Huh, quite right, Iris. We must conclude our preparations for tomorrow. It is after 8 o'clock. Thank you for being respectful to that. Wait, what preparations?
Well, I think I shall make my way back to my hotel room now. This has certainly been a night to remember.
It is a little bit sad, though.
Huh?
I mean, I liked the idea of you being my daddy. Because then Susie would have been my big sister.
I'm really sorry, Iris. She can still pretend to be your big sister.
I know, Iris. I was quite thinking the same thing. Were you? But if somebody like me would be worthy, I would be delighted to become your sister. Really? Oh, for sure, without question. So, you'll teach me all the ways you know to throw Bruno to the floor? Oh, of course I will!
Oh, great, great. Just gonna be getting beaten up by women for the rest of my life. Alright, hold up, ladies.
Oh, but wait a minute. If Susie's gonna be my big sister, you can be my big brother if you want, Bruno.
Right, for sure. Alright. Why don't you just call us auntie and uncle? I feel like that works better. Alright, whatever. Well done, Iris! We must always be mindful of feelings. I've raised you so well. Ha 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 ha! Because being sensitive is this man's strong suit, naturally. Of course. So, are we good here?
Right! I'm gonna work extra hard for tomorrow now. Because it's for my big brother and sister.
What is all this talk about prepping for tomorrow? What are you preparing, actually?
Oh, you're just gonna have to wait and see.
Oh. Okay. Good luck in courts tomorrow! Well, I'm expecting a sterling performance. Are you? Okay. Oh, are we glitching out again? It looks like maybe. I'll do my very best, of course. For sure. So, the overnight break in the trial's proceedings became a crucial turning point, exposing new truths whilst posing new conundrums. That list of 4 names on the telegram in Judge Chigoku's office, and the extraordinary assassination plot in which my best friend had somehow become involved. I felt as though I'd been plunged into an even greater darkness all of a sudden. But at the same time, I felt sure that I would see light again soon. Oh, look at all of my friends! Because I was lucky enough to have the most wonderful family in the world, standing steadfastly behind me. You know, game 1 I hated all of these people so fucking much, couldn't stand a single one of them and didn't want to learn anything about them. I've really warmed up to them all. Oh, it took fucking forever, but it did happen. Save your current progress? Yeah, I fucking guess I will. Alright, investigation part 1. Trial part 2. Okay, trial. We're going back to trial. Final trial. How many streams will it take? That's the brilliant question that I don't know. But it sounds like we've got a lot to do in this trial, so hopefully it all comes together. That is where I'm going to call it for the day, boys. So, if you would be so kind as to leave a like on this stream. The engagement is super helpful. Streaming tomorrow. I'm going to try to stream tomorrow. It's possible I might be late to stream or might cancel stream because tomorrow is family dinner. I have a relationship with my family. I eat dinner with them regularly. That's tomorrow. So I'm going to be there. But I will try to be back here for stream if I can make it happen. If not, I'll be here Wednesday. So hopefully tomorrow, if not tomorrow, the day after. You know how it goes. Such is life. All right, boys. Thank you for spending your evening with me. And until next time,